Hey, welcome guys. We are in the textbook, which is Adobe Illustrator Creative Cloud Revealed by Chris Botello, and we're currently working in Chapter 3, which is focuses on drawing and composing illustrations. And so the first thing that I'm going to do is demo Lesson 3, which is drawing elements of an illustration. Um, this is using the pen tool, and sometimes this can be a little tricky to control it. So I'm going to walk through this process with you and hopefully help you come to a better understanding of how you use the pen tool if you're not real comfortable with it. So first thing that we're going to do is try to get to the next page on this to see what we actually do next. And again, the text says getting started with an illustration is very typically the hardest part. Can be of a well-known object or a supplied sketch or a picture. At other times you can create an illustration just based on your imagination. In any case, the challenge is how do you translate the concept from its source to the Illustrator artboard? And there's a couple of different ways that you can do that. First of all, you can start from scratch, which means you start with a new Illustrator document, create the illustration using only the Illustrator tools. And then there are also a number of other ways that you can get started with these illustrations as well. One is to trace a scanned image. And I do this quite often. Honestly, I take a photograph or sketch a drawing, and then I'll scan it, place it, and use that as a template for drawing over. And as the textbook says, and I would like to reiterate, it's not cheating. An original drawing is an original drawing, whether you created it on the computer or on a piece of paper. The ability to use a computer to help you render a sketch is one of the premier advantages of having Illustrator and the illustration software. So we are going to go through this process. Oops, no we're not here. We are going to work with figure 24 here, figure 25. We're going to place a scan sketch in Illustrator, and then we are going to trace it using this sketch as a visual reference. So the first thing that we need to do is open 3-4 and save it as Snowball Parts. So we're going to go over here and we're going to go out to Illustrator. I already have it activated. We're going to do File and Open. And we're going to go to GR270, and we want to get into our Chapter 3 files, and we are looking for 3-4, and do Open. All right, and then I am going to click and drag this a little smaller so we can see the textbook beside my example. And then we're going to do a Command 0 to bring that into the artboard a little bit better. We're going to do a file and we're going to save as, and we're going to save it as Snowball Parts _ your name. All right, and you just accept these defaults and click OK. Now the next thing that we're going to do is go to View on the menu bar and click ARM. And this is a pre-saved viewpoint from whoever created this drawing. But if we go to View and down to ARM, and you'll see each one of those areas is selected, saved as an individual view. And we need to go to ARM, which is right here. Now with the arm, we're going to make sure that we're going to draw it over it with a pen tool, but first we're going to verify that the fill color is set to none. Remember, this is the fill color and we want none. And then you want to make sure, I'm on the weekend again in my weekend language, and then we're going to go to stroke color as black, which my stroke color is already at black. We're going to get the pen tool, and remember the pen tool quick key is P. And we're going to pick up the pen and then we're going to position it over point 1, and we're going to click and drag a direction line to the green star on the right side of 1. So you're going to click here and you're not going to release, you're going to click and then you're going to drag. and you want your handles, these are the directional handles, remember, and you want your one handle to click onto or extend out to that green star. Now, the reason that we do it this way is because that directional handle on this side of the anchor point determines where the direction that our next path is going to go. So we're going to go to position 2, and you'll see what I mean in just a minute. And then we're going to click and drag a line to the next green star. So you click once, and then you're going to drag to the next green star. And then we're going to go to, let's see, watch the preview. We've already done that, but we're going to watch the blue preview of the new segment fall into place as you drag the pen tool. This will help you understand when to stop dragging the direction line. So again, on number 6, using the same method, we're going to continue to draw points 3 through 6 and then compare our screen. So I'm going to go back over here, and I'm going to click on number 3, and I'm going to drag that and watch that blue line. I'm going to go to number 4, and I'm going to click and drag, and again watch the blue line. Yeah, I don't like that very well. I wonder if it has us change that out. Well, I'll show you what I would do. I'll go all the way through this process, and then if it doesn't conform to the exact shape that I want it to conform to, there is a fix. Now you want to go back over to 1, and that's, again, we want to stop where we started to close out the path and make that much easier for us to add color to it. All right, so here we go. Now you'll see that that is not where I would want it to be if I were trying to replicate that exactly. So I got the direct selection tool, and I selected that one anchor point, and then I'm just going to click and drag that back here. And actually that works fairly well. And all right, so we are going to go back over here. Points 1 through 6 are smooth points, which means that when you click and drag, you're creating that nice corner point or smooth point. If you just click and drop, that creates a hard corner point. All right, so and we've already done that. Press and hold Alt if you're on a Windows, or Option if you're on a Mac, and click and drag to position the ending segment close and close the path. Now I did not do that, and it still closed it out all right. Sometimes that makes it easier for if the handles start getting all conglomerated and messy. If you do that Alt Windows or Option Mac right before you clear out or close out this shape, that will take care of some of those handles issues, and that may be the reason why that does not exactly meet that point too. Let's see if I can make that a little bit better. There we go. All right, now we're going to go to View on the menu bar, and we're going to click Hat Band this time. We're going to verify again that the fill color is set to none, which it is, and the stroke color is set to black. We're going to do Pen P to get the pen tool. And then we're going to click the pen tool and click the position 1 to create a corner point. So you just click once, you don't click and drag, you're just going to click here, and that's going to create a corner point. Now we're going to draw the next 2 curved segments for positions 2 and 3 using the green stars as guides. So here's number 2. I'm going to click and drag that. And I'm going to click and drag this number 3. I'm going to click and drag number 4. Just click once for number 5. Then I'm going to go over here to number 6, and I'm going to click and drag that again to get that path a little bit more in keeping with what I want it to be. Still not quite right. I think I'll probably end up just moving that back. And then we're going to go over here and read, click position 5 to create a corner point, which is exactly what we did. And then position the pen tool over position 6 and drag to the green star, which we did. And then we're going to click position 1 to close the path with a corner point. And again, you're not going to click and drag, you're just going to click once. And there you go on that, and that closes that out. And again, if I want to make any kind of an adjustment, I just get the direct selection tool, or A. And if I scroll over my path, you'll see that it gives me a hint as to where that direction point is that I'm trying to find. And if I just click and drag that, it gets it almost perfect. All right, there you go. Now we're going to work on redirecting a path while drawing. So we are going to go up to View on the menu bar, and we're going to choose Nose. And the nose view includes both the nose as well as the mouth, eyebrow, and teeth. We're going to get the pen tool, or the P tool, and then we are going to click point 1 on the nose to start the path with a corner point. So we don't want to click and drag, we just want to click once and drop. And there's that point. And then that's called a corner point. Then we're going to create smooth points, or I call them rounded points, but the textbook calls them smooth points, which just means you click and drag at positions 2 and 3. So we're going to click on 2 and not release the mouse, and then you're going to drag. And the same thing with 3. We're going to click and drag. And you'll see that the direction of the nose that we're tracing abruptly changes at point 3. So we're going to press and hold Alt if you're on a Windows, or Option if you're on a Mac, to switch the anchor point tool, and then we're going to move the top direction handle of point 3 down to the red star. And then release Alt, or if you're on a Windows, or Option if you're on a Mac, to switch back to the pen tool. And then we're going to drag position 4 to finish drawing the path. And then we're going to click the selection tool to deselect the path. And what I did is I just did Command. If you're on a PC, you can do Control and click off, and that will deselect that path. The nose element is an open path, and what that means is if we wanted to add color to that path, it's not saying that we can't add color, but the computer then determines where the color ends and begins on the path. We don't. If it's a closed path, then we determine that just by filling it with color. All right, now this one, we're going to trace the nose. Oh, we already did that. Never mind. We're going to place a scanned image, and I'm going to close out here, and I'll be back in just a few moments to do another demo for you before I end this out. Be back in just a few.